Hey AfterBuzzers, we are talking episode 14, season 6 of New Girl, The Hike, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, hello everybody, we are back and so excited to talk about this episode. We literally have so many juicy things that happened and I can't even wait to get into it. But before we begin, I'm your host, Nasta. You can find me on Twitter to continue this discussion at Nasta and on Instagram at AllieGirl. And Tessa Cevaal, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tessa_Cevaal.
Alrighty, Tessa. Now let's just contain our excitement for a little bit, even though I can't even.
That happened.
Seriously?
Where do we start?
First of all, we have been waiting for this episode after episode, and we finally got it. Allie is back, and she returned.
I know. I literally was so happy for you. I'm watching the episode. I'm like, Allie finally got her wish.
I was so happy, but it was so funny because the way they brought it in, I thought they would somewhat kind of be like, oh yeah, like Winston threw this whole party and then she wouldn't actually show up. So when she showed up, I was like, yes, she walked through the door. This is happening.
Finally.
Seriously. And then also, what I noticed is they mentioned she wasn't in the same city. So did we miss that she moved away?
Yeah, I kind of was confused too. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah, because they were like, yeah, well, my girl's finally going to be in the same city as me, and I totally missed out on the whole she moved away thing. So I'm glad we're on the same page on that. If you guys know, please make sure that you comment below or join us in the live chat and we can talk about it because we totally missed out on that. And that's why they probably didn't have her in the next couple episodes because they were doing long distance, which was interesting. But just kind of going into Allie and Winston and their relationship, which I love them so much. Like, how do you
They're
obviously...
literally I fell in love with them all over again. I say this every time that a couple, like, we see them again because it keeps happening. I'm like, oh my God, I did love them and I did love them. But there's so many couples, there's so many dynamics. I think we tend to forget about them.
Yeah.
So to see them again together and like how kooky and like strange they can be, I was like, oh.
It's like Winston
literal match made in heaven.
Seriously.
I was like, I want a boyfriend who understands me on that level.
Seriously, Winston they have such a great vibe and their jokes they're on the same wavelength. They get each other. I loved when they were talking about the story in the bathtub and Nick was like, maybe I just need to hear it again because they were cracking up and I just was laughing because they were laughing.
I know, I'm not gonna lie, by the end of the episode I was like, yeah, tell it again. And I'm like, wait, it's not a story.
It's not a story
what
and
is
it's
going
not
on?
Funny, but it was funny how Winston described it because he was just laughing so hysterically.
Yeah.
But Winston really stepped out of his comfort zone this time because he threw her a party with her entire family.
Insane. Like, that was a really big party, and when I first heard him say he was gonna do it, I was like, okay, this can seriously go one of two ways, because you know with family it's either gonna be amazing or total disaster.
Yeah.
So it was like, I kind of thought it would be total disaster when, you know, because like most of the time when people bring their whole family, it's like never perfect.
Yeah.
So I was really anxious to see how it played out. It kind of played out how I thought it was going to, in the sense that she was like, what the heck? You, like, what? I don't want this. But it was so cute. And the fact that he got up on the table.
Loved that.
Like, I mean, that takes a lot of guts. It is Winston, so I feel like sometimes he doesn't, like, process things all the way through to, like, really realize what he's doing. But
totally.
I was like, oh my gosh.
No, seriously, and I thought that this was great because they were opening up. I feel as though Winston and Allie kind of haven't told us exactly how they're feeling about each other because we had this huge break of when we've seen them together.
Right.
So this was a great progression. Maybe if she's not in the next episode, we now know this is the real deal. I mean, when he got up on that table, I thought he was going to propose.
I thought that too, because who would just normally do that?
Winston.
And I was like, oh, this is a bigger surprise, especially because all the family was there. It was so convenient.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to happen. Also, another thing that I really enjoyed was that when the parents got introduced to us, it wasn't a necessarily, oh my gosh, we don't like Winston. They're like, our daughter's happy, we're happy, which is something that we haven't seen yet because Cece's mom was totally not about Schmidt in the beginning of the relationship and not even until the very, very end.
I know, she wasn't going to go to the wedding or anything.
No. So
Yeah.
I thought it was really great that we got to see her side of the family and how excited they are that they found each other. But I don't know. At the looks of their relationship, I'm thinking a proposal is going to happen anytime, any day now.
Seriously.
They're the next ones to get married.
They totally are.
And I love everything about that. And I do love how Winston totally just put it out on the table and they were just like cracking up. I mean, what better in a relationship than just to be able to laugh with the other person?
Well, and the fact that she thought he was going to leave and he was like, it was seriously a thought that didn't cross his mind.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like she got kind of crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I still love her.
And that's what you
And I was
need.
like,
I know. Winston's perfect for that because you need someone that's going to like love your inner weirdness. If you can't be weird, then what kind of relationship is it? Honestly, weird is better in my terms. You got to be weird together to have some fun, right?
Yes.
But leading into weird, Schmidt, love him. They were a little bit weird about their house. They were trying to be cool, but then they got a little weird towards the end.
It cracked me up how Schmidt was like, I was never invited to like the cool like houses. I was like,
I
you're
know.
such a
Poor guy.
sad little boy.
Cece was like, I want to give little Schmidt a hug. I want to go back and give him a hug. I was like, me too. He seems very sad. He was friends with his
What I
piano
really
teacher.
liked about this though was in the past couple episodes we've seen Schmidt more involved in Cece's world, helping
Yes.
with the modeling, the office, the cubicle, all
Mm-hmm.
of those things. And now I feel like it kind of shifted and Cece was part of Schmidt's house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even though it's their house, Schmidt's definitely taking control of how it's been all put together
Yeah.
and how it's going to be managed and all of those things. So I think it was kind of cool to see the change.
Yeah, and they're working together. And this is the first scene we've seen in a while where they've kind of been alone.
Yeah.
Granted, there was a couple moments where Nick would pop up in the back and be his weird self. But it was great to just kind of see their dynamic as a married couple and really trying to meander. Oh, this is their first dinner party that they're doing on their own. Like, what's
Yeah.
going to happen? And not to mention, we are seeing how beautiful and progress of this house.
Gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous.
It's so exciting. It makes me a little scared though because I feel like the house is coming on really quickly and we're gonna.
I know,
like,
it's like done.
yeah,
Like,
I
it's
know.
done.
They have a couple like rooms left to be made,
Because
but,
the master bedroom still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, sooner or later. I mean, I don't know what month we're at right now in terms of when they started. They said it was gonna be like 6 months down the road. Don't know what month marker we're at, but I'm getting a little nervous. I'm not ready for them to move out completely.
Oh.
But what I have liked about the house, though, it seems to bring them all together because almost every episode has ended in the house so far. With
Oh, that's really
Schmidt was
interesting. I never
dancing.
thought about that.
I forget what last episode was, but they have at least one scene where they're all together because Reagan was like, "Is this my life now?" And that
Yes.
like so. I'm thinking maybe they'll spend maybe a little bit more time outside the loft and maybe in their house, and that's how they'll incorporate it. And it's not just like we're all leaving.
Like their second hangout area.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So I think that would be
Without
good.
their shoes on.
Yeah, without their shoes on, and coasters down, which we can get into some Schmidt coats because maybe that was mine. But I loved that. I thought it was great too that they were just trying to be like the cool people, and then finally their like quirkiness came out, and they're like, "That's it! Like you guys need to go by our rules."
Which kind of surprised me because Cece's not really that way. Like,
Yeah.
she's not the OCD, like, control freak that Schmidt is. So it's kind of, like, funny to see Cece get so
Like
worked
jolty
up about
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's definitely maybe turning into a little bit of a Schmidt, a little Schmitty. But you know, speaking of similar and similarities, Robbie and Jess, there was obvious, like, striking resemblances towards them. Not only just the glasses, not only their dark hair and appearance, but apparently they're cousins.
I
Oh
literally
my
was, like,
gosh.
in shock. I felt like it was so sudden. It was like, what? I like needed to process it for a minute. I was like, wait, I mean, it is kind of like weird that they're so similar, da 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 da. And I was like, this is just so gross.
It was.
And
It was really
incestuous.
jolting and kind of shocking because at the beginning of the episode, I know that they were agreeing on everything and I understood that they were getting along, which I really enjoyed. And I was like, okay, this is really good for. I saw that in the beginning of the episode. I was like, all right, Jess and Robbie are doing great. Like,
Yeah.
they are on the same page. Little did we know at that point they were on the same page in like every way, shape, or form. But I was a little jolted and shocked too because I thought thought they were getting along so well that I didn't realize this came out of like total left field. Never even saw that coming at
It freaked
all.
me out. Well, and part of me wonders, it's like, okay, yeah, everyone has big families to some extent.
Yeah.
And you might not know all the family members. But if they played, what was it, like they did a three-legged race together?
You wouldn't get some sort of resemblance.
Like, I don't know. There's probably a picture somewhere. It's just like a little too close for comfort. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, what I kind of found weird about it was that obviously Robbie and Jess have been dating for a while now, so why hasn't this come up sooner? Like, why haven't you
True.
talked about your family? And I mean, I guess those
Where
are
they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess those are kind of things that if you are talking about, I wouldn't necessarily be talking to my brand new, like, or boyfriend of, like, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of their timeline. Because if their timeline would work out, would you be talking about your distant family and family reunions from years ago? And
Probably not. I feel like the timeline feels about right.
When
to
they would, like,
me.
open it
just
up.
was so jolting.
Yeah.
Like you said. I was like, what?
well, that's traumatizing. Because then, like,
I think I was like just thinking about if that happened to me and my boyfriend, which obviously would not. I mean, we don't even look alike, but
Yeah.
still, I'm like,
but like, yeah, they were like, Jess was like, ugh, like,
and what a weird way to break up because like
they were in the middle of
you're
the woods.
still family.
Yeah. Oh. Like, I can't even, like, they could possibly run into each
so
other.
weird.
Like, she could possibly, later on down the road, Jess could be invited to her wedding from, like, the sister, like, I mean, the, whatever who would be, like, her cousin-in-law, or whatever his new wife would be, because the family would be like, we gotta invite Jess, and he'd be like, no, we're not gonna invite Jess. How weird.
I wonder if that's ever happened.
In real life?
Yeah. Do you think that like happens?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
If you
Such
don't,
a random thought.
If you don't know, then like, I mean, it could happen. It could happen to anybody. Like, this was just like they met each other out in LA. They figured whatever, we like each other. But how strange. And they were like,
Very weird.
They're like, I loved how when they were in the cave and they were talking about like if they were to be found and how it would look to society.
Yes.
I was like, it's kind of true. Because they're like in a cave together. It's so random. Yet like the news probably would totally run off with that story.
I know, right? Well, you know what else I was thinking too is, you know how you usually hear about the cool people in the family, like the successful ones, like, oh, like your second cousin does whatever, right?
That's true.
Robbie's that person. So I wonder if somewhere along the lines,
Someone would've-
her mom or dad or whatever was like, oh yeah, like your second cousin Robbie, like knows all these famous people, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. Because he is so successful and is in like all these different professions. I don't know. When I saw that, I did not even see that coming, which can't say that we didn't see them breaking up not coming, but I didn't see them breaking up because they were family members. That was
so
something that
weird.
it was so weird. So I just like I didn't even know how to react because that's such a strange situation to like be put in, and you like automatically put yourself in Jess's shoes. Like, what would I do? Like, I would freak out. I would probably just like scream like they did. Like, ugh, so gross. Oh man. All right. Well, that was a weird breakup and probably one that we've never seen before in Jess's
No.
crazy dating life.
Surprisingly.
And I mean, they seem to handle it pretty well though. I mean,
But I feel like it's one of those situations whenever you break up with someone, there's always that like, what if? Like that tiny, no matter how bad the breakup was, there's always that little like, me, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But this time it's like
no.
definite. Like they are family, they are not getting back together.
Robbie was like, so we're broken up, right? And she's like, yeah. He's like, sorry, I shouldn't have asked. And then what did he say? Something, and she's like, too soon. Like, he said,
Oh, I think he was like, I'll see you at the family reunion
she's
or
like,
something.
too soon. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Get over it.
But them breaking up does kind of leave an open space for Nick.
Last couple
Which-
we haven't talked about.
No, and I know we're totally on the Reagan and Nick bandwagon, which I was really getting excited about, and then that interview just has me thinking and my brain going.
Right, yeah. If you guys watched last week's episode,
No, yeah, we talked about, there was an interview that Nick did on E! News, and he
Last week,
and he discussed how he totally wouldn't write off Nick and Jess's relationship just yet because he thinks it's still in the cards for them, but was saying that he hopes they don't rush into it. So it was kind of like, why would you even bring that up to us fans out there? Because I'm excited about it now.
And then, ironically enough, Jess is single now.
Yeah. So I don't know. But now it's like I totally was like off the Jess and Nick bandwagon, and I was totally on Nick and Reagan.
Okay, did you see like that moment they had
Yes.
at the very end? She
Yes.
walks into Schmidt and Cece's house. Disaster. Nick comes up to her, and I swear to God, it was like, like literally, they looked at each other. I felt it. I was like, oh my God.
I know.
It's going to happen again. And all of a sudden, just like that, a couple weeks later, I'm like, bye, Reagan.
Yeah. And ironically, she wasn't in this episode, so you didn't have to think about her. I know, because I was thinking, obviously at the end, I was like, well, what about Reagan? Because he had mentioned her in the beginning. He said, I don't have anything to do, so I'll come to the party. But I'm now kind of not writing them off completely because I still kind of somewhat like their relationship. But, I mean, hey, Jess is single and Reagan wasn't here, so I think something can definitely brew in the Nick and Jess atmosphere of love.
Well, yeah, because what we've been saying is they're both in relationships. We both like their relationships, so why would anything happen? But now something's happened, so...
And I'm just wondering, because I'm just trying to think about what Nick is feeling, because so far we've only seen Jess's side, and we've seen him kind of look at her certain times. There's been certain occurrences where they keep kind of having those moments of almost silence, or when they're trying to have a serious conversation, but you're like, there's something more behind your eyes. You know what I mean? So I just don't know what he's thinking, though. Maybe he's hiding his emotions like he normally does, because he's thinking it can never happen. She's over me. So maybe there's going to be something that comes up where he has to realize, what if she does feel those things for me again?
Well, I think going back a couple episodes to the Secret Santa episode where that conversation kind of came out and he was like, you think I haven't noticed all these things and emotions and everything that you're going through? I feel like it's still up
in
there, back there.
Yeah.
In Nick's head.
I mean, they just have undeniable chemistry, and I'm just back on the Jess and Nick. That didn't last about like 3 episodes, but now I'm back. I'm full force Jess and Nick. I'm hoping that they...
I know. I said I'd never be Nick and Reagan.
Yeah,
Lied.
happened.
I said I'd never go back to Jess and Nick. I lied. I'm a liar.
We just need to never say never. Anything is possible. Anything is possible, especially on this show. But yeah, I'm just really excited for that to happen. Hopefully it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But maybe we should...
No, I think it will. That's my prediction.
Okay,
I'm
well, maybe
jumping
we
the
should get
gun.
into some predictions then. Some predictions.
And now,
Ooh.
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, Tessa, would you like to repeat your prediction?
My prediction is Nick and Jess are going to get back together.
Totally.
I give it like 5 episodes.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's I think you're right. Do you think that they'll leave us on like a cliffhanger of like when they'll, like
at the end of the season?
Yeah, at the end of the season it'll be a cliffhanger like, will they get back together?
Ooh.
Or do you think it'll happen before
we're
the
getting
series?
close.
Yeah, we're like, well, I feel like they always do like 20 to 24. I can't remember the actual count. So we could have probably like around 6 episodes left. So yeah, that would be towards the end of the season. So maybe. Alrighty. So is that your only one?
I would like to reiterate my pregnancy prediction as well.
Yes.
And I've
Please
changed
do.
it from Jess to Cece.
Cece's pregnant at the end of the season or like in a couple?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
okay.
think. Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's get
Season
into it.
finale. Jess and Nick are probably going to be either about to get together or back together. And Cece
Baby.
will find out she's pregnant in the finale episode.
Oh my gosh.
calling
how
it now.
crazy. All right. You heard it right here from Tessa Cevaal. She's calling it now. Cece will be pregnant and Nick and Jess will be getting back together.
And maybe Ally and Winston will be engaged.
That is my prediction. This is what, like, if this like happens, this season finale will be crazy.
Epic. They're always epic.
Yeah, they are always epic. They leave me with my jaw dropping, tears in my eyes, and just like longing for the season
like a
to
hot mess.
start over. Totally. But yeah, I guess my predictions would be that Winston and Cece, Winston and Cece, sorry. Winston and Ally get engaged, as well as I think Reagan. What if this could be some drama, but she might cheat on Nick. Maybe that's how they end things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't want to say that about her, but like she might have like she's been gone this episode, and then because I can't see anything drastic. Like Nick really likes her, so I can't see anything else that would like totally tear them apart because they're similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's nothing that could like emotionally tear them apart besides like infidelity, but maybe not. I don't know.
I can actually totally see that because of some past actions from both of them where they're trying not to be invested. So maybe it gets to the point where one of them does something super drastic like that.
To like,
get attention almost. / like, oh, well, you never pay attention to me. He did.
That's true.
Oops.
Yeah. It's like I don't want that to happen, but I'm kind of feeling that's the only way they could possibly break up.
What an emotional episode.
This episode just like it was so awesome too, and I love how at the end Schmidt was laying down napkins for Jess to step on, so she didn't step through the house. But speaking of Schmidt, did you have any Schmidt quotes that you wanted to bring to the table?
Let me look at my quotes.
I had
what's
mine
yours?
was shoes off, coasters down, and then how he had mentioned the shoe cleaning station or something in the driveway before people came in, which I thought was hilarious. He's just great.
I think I liked the delivery of this quote more.
I mean, it's usually the delivery. Yeah, always, of course.
When he said, "Let's go." Let's go in the car of our own, or let's go hide in the garage of our own home.
Yes.
Let's go hide in the garage of our own home. I was like, that's so
I
funny.
did notice that one too. That was a good one. Schmidt, always with the good quotes. But I guess that brings us to an end of today's recap. We really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure that you follow AfterBuzz TV on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube or listening on iTunes, make sure you subscribe. We really enjoy you guys watching. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Ally Nasta. You can find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at Ally Girl. And if you are interested in any of our other shows, make sure you tune into The Royals on Mondays at 7:30. And Tessa Cevaal, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tessa_Cevaal.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.